Marco Rubio seeks re-election. He'll win because Cubans run Miami. Marco Rubio seeks re-election. He'll win because Cubans run Miami. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel at the Black Political Buzz Network. I'm going to make this video very, very brief. We've all heard the news now that Republican U.S. Senator from the state of Florida, Marco Rubio, a Cuban-American who at one point was running for the seat of U.S. President alongside Donald J. Trump. Marco Rubio was flying high, in the polls and so forth, but he was defeated in the primaries, in the GOP primaries, by presumptive 2016 GOP presidential nominee Donald J. Trump. Marco Rubio lost his own state of Florida to Donald J. Trump. Well, now U.S. Senator Marco Rubio is seeking re-election. He's seeking to win, to keep his seat. Rubio is seeking to keep his Senate seat, his U.S. Senate seat. Many predicted, and me included, I also predicted that it was very doubtful that Marco Rubio would be reelected as a U.S. Senator because he lost his own state of Florida in the GOP primary several months ago to Donald J. Trump. But now, it looks as if Marco Rubio will have a great chance of, being reelected as a U.S. Senator in Florida on the GOP ticket. Why? Because Marco Rubio is a Cuban-American. That's right, he's Cuban-American. His parents are from Cuba, and Marco was raised in the United States of America. And Miami, Florida, is run by Cubans. The city is dominated by Cubans, native Cubans and Cuban-Americans. I was in Miami back in, I think it was March of this year, when they had the GOP debate at the University of Miami. I was visiting Miami. I stayed in Miami Beach back in March of 2016 when I was there visiting Miami to cover the GOP debate, which was held at the University of Miami. And I loved it. I was there for like 4 days, and the people there were so nice. The Cubans were extremely nice to me. Now, I've heard that Cubans are racist towards black people. That's what I've heard. But when I was in Miami for those 4 days, the Cubans that I ran into, and which were most of the residents in Miami, they were very kind to me, very polite, very nice. Now, I don't know, maybe it's because I was there, to cover the GOP debate. I don't know. But nevertheless, the Cubans that I encountered in Miami when I was there in March of this year, they were extremely nice to me. And I believe it was genuine. I believe they were being kind to me, out of being genuine and sincere. I don't believe it was fake. So I cannot attest to Cubans being, racist to black people because I'm a black woman and they were nice to me. But anyway, Cubans run Miami. They're all over the city. They're in government. All the jobs of leadership basically are, via members of, via Cuban-Americans, some white people, but mainly Cuban-Americans. And then you have the Haitians in Cuba. They're mainly in service jobs. So the Haitians, from what I observe, they do the service jobs, customer service type jobs, cleaning jobs, driving the buses or whatever. And the Cuban-Americans are in leadership positions. And then you have some white folks, but mainly it's Cuban-Americans who run Miami. And that's where Marco Rubio is from. So do I think that Marco Rubio will be reelected as a U.S. Senator? Yes, I do. Now, there are some Cuban-Americans who don't like Marco Rubio. There are some Cuban-Americans who reside in Miami, Florida, who do not like Marco Rubio because they say he's a sellout. Some Cuban Americans have labeled Marco Rubio as a sellout. But for the most part, Marco Rubio is the beloved son. I repeat, for the most part, Marco Rubio is the beloved son of Miami, Florida. And I do believe he will be reelected as a U.S. Senator. But let's stay tuned, because I'm not always right. I'm not God. I just make predictions, and from my gut. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. All right? So, Marco Rubio seeks re-election. He's going to win because Miami is run by Cubans. And no, I'm not racist. I'm just stating the fact. Miami is run by Cubans. Thank you for tuning in to Laura at the Black Political Buzz Network. Goodbye.